forests are relatively young and also pretty thick. Historically, we had very large trees that would fall periodically. They would fall across streams, they would fall in the floodplains, they would hold water back, and all of our native fish, macroinvertebrates, and animals evolved to that here over thousands of years. About 2 centuries ago, we started industrial logging of all of Pennsylvania, clear cutting, and trees that would normally be along our streams and naturally falling in have gone and helped to build America, which we needed, but it's left our streams bereft of habitat in many places. It's a very historic opinion of streams is that they need to be clean and straight. If we can see a nice, beautiful channel, it might be very aesthetic to some folks, but when you look at it through the eyes of a trout or a bug that might need a velocity break in high water, that's a desert that doesn't have any food, it doesn't have any cover, and it's not a great place to live. When you start putting in a lot of trees, it helps replenish those natural densities. Pools naturally dig themselves out. They deposit gravels at the edge of the pools for spawning. It's just a great spot for a fish to be. You can get in under a log where a bird can't get you. If you're a small fish, even in the fine branches, you can tuck into those fine branches and a larger fish can't eat you. There used to be anywhere from 70 to over 380 trees, large trees, per mile per stream. We should naturally be chock full of wood, and we're not anymore. So the work that we do here helps to encourage early successional openings that mimic natural tree fall. That's good for deer browse, it's good for grouse. A whole bunch of stuff likes little thickets to be in and to move through.
We try and select trees that aren't going to get hung up on other trees. We need to be able to get them down safely. We try to avoid taking them from the stream bank so that the root mass of the trees are still there on the bank to hold the stream in place. We try and choose stands where the trees have higher stocking densities, and they can actually benefit from thinning out select trees, because when you thin out a stand, it provides more nutrients and resources to the neighboring trees that remain in that area. So they'll actually grow healthier and faster. A lot of times we're not just putting one piece of wood at a particular location. A lot of times we're interweaving tops and 3 or 4 key pieces, those pieces that are twice bank full width, into that one structure so that they're stable and held in place. They'll trap some of that debris and organics and create better pool habitat and also food for macroinvertebrates. Macroinvertebrates are aquatic insects. They spend most of their life in the stream channel, and then they hatch into flies such as stoneflies, mayflies, and caddisflies. Those are the primary ones that we want because those are ideal food for trout.
We've been monitoring some sites for past 5 or 6 years. In areas that we've gone and done this, we've seen 2 to 3 times the number and size of pools versus the untreated sections. So when you're a trout that needs some place to go deep and cool in summer when it's hot, that's a great thing if there's 2 to 3 times more habitat out there.
And I think it's fantastic. It achieves a whole lot of multiple outcomes using really simple tools instead of having to come in and do a whole lot of stuff where we've designed stuff and we brought in big heavy machinery. You can get a huge amount done and you're basically using nature to do it. So it's really light on the landscape and restoring it to what it used to be. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to learn about. Still, what we're doing right now is we're trying to restore it back to the condition that it was before the humans came in and did what we did on the landscape.
Mark Villers is a longtime logger who specializes in tree tipping, the depositing of large trees into streams.
We're trying to mimic a windstorm by tipping large trees over. The wood in the stream slows the water down, so we're hoping to build the bed load up and deposit the gravel. So we go around messing creeks up.
Tree tipping is a skill requiring years of experience.
We're trying to hit that in-stream season when you're allowed to work, when fish aren't spawning and not rearing and they're out of the gravel. There's really a lot to it from the biological side and then the safety side. We take a lot of time and use our experience. If you do it wrong, you can snap them off and not get the root wad, or you end up with a great big tree going the wrong direction and you can't just stand it up and do it again.
Restoration is a long-term process. The results of these projects might take years, but sometimes the changes are more immediate.
We've seen some really impressive numbers where fish counts have doubled or tripled or quadrupled in a short time in areas that we've worked.